Welcome to the very first Shelley's Shit Show. This is quite the shit show, and I'm just going to get started, but right before I do, I want to tell you this. If you ever end up in an interrogation room, ask for an attorney. Do not ever talk to the cops. Of course, unless, of course, you're this guy. If you're this guy, then of course you can talk to the cops because, well, let's watch.
Have you ever been arrested before?
Yes.
For what?
I had a felony charge many years ago.
You're not a convicted felon, okay? So you're legally allowed to possess a firearm, okay? By law, you're allowed to possess a firearm. Let me finish what I'm saying. You're legally allowed to possess a firearm. Let's get back to that.
Okay, so right off the bat, I'm a felon. Yes, I'm a felon. I'm a convicted felon. And then they proceed to say, you're not a convicted felon. You're not a convicted felon.
You're allowed to legally possess a firearm because you're not a convicted felon, okay?
I know that.
Based on what you're telling me, you're not a convicted felon. It doesn't matter if you're an outlaw or you're a Boy Scout. If you're not a convicted felon, you're legally allowed to possess a gun in your home as long as you're not concealing it.
But you're not a convicted felon, so you're legally allowed to own a firearm, or you're legally allowed to possess a firearm, but you can't conceal it? What does that even mean? You can own a firearm, but you can't conceal it in your home? Okay, so this is in Broward County, Florida, Oakland Park. Okay, so the situation really quick with this is Richard was in his own home, and he rents his home out to a bunch of people that are down on their luck. They need a place to stay. And so backstory is Richard's a major drunk, okay? He drinks from night to morning. I mean, just a heavy drinker. And he decides to go out and shoot his gun into the ground. So he shoots his gun into the ground 3 times, and the neighbor across the road, about, 200 yards? About 200 yards across the road, calls the cops and reports them for firing his pistol into the ground. And Richard finds himself in an interrogation room along with a guy named Larry, and then there's a couple other people that were in the house too. We're going to start with Richard. So admits he's a convicted felon, but they just choose to ignore that. They're not hearing that. And why? Why are they not hearing that? And then now he can own it, but he can't conceal it, which I've never heard of that. I have no idea what that even means. So let's move on.
And the fact that you could legally possess a firearm because you're telling me you're not a convicted felon. What?
Well, you have my record. You pulled me.
Okay.
So
I'm taking you
everything.
on face value.
Okay.
All right, let me ask you a question. And again, you're allowed to touch a gun. You're allowed to touch a gun because you're not a convicted felon. And again, I haven't checked. But you're...
And I know BSO procedures because I've been with it all my life.
Okay.
My brother-in-law is the next chief.
Okay, so now it comes out a little bit. Again, they're ignoring it about 2 hours into this, and they're still saying he's not a convicted felon. And then Richard says, oh, I know all about this because my family is a chief of police in the Broward County Sheriff's Department. Okay, all right, so now we got a little something here. You can jump in at any time, Mike. You just kind of stand in there all stoic. Might be kind of fun for you to jump in if you have something to say, okay? Sure. I'm trying to get him to jump in and, carrying this pig hat.
Well, you shouldn't be so pig-headed about it.
So now we've got the 911 caller had called, and the 911 caller called and identified Richard as the one that actually fired the weapon into the ground.
I was shooting a pellet gun.
And what happened? Pellet gun doesn't make a boom. What happened?
I don't know. I tell you the honest God truth. I went to bed after that.
He admits to firing a pellet gun. Okay, not a real gun, a pellet gun into the ground. Well,
BB gun.
BB gun, he called it BB gun, pellet gun.
2 different ammos.
Okay, but did they go boom?
No.
Because you were the one who was shooting the BB gun out in front of your house, which people believe to be a real gun. From the beginning, were you outside shooting a BB gun tonight?
Yes.
So he's sticking to the pellet gun story, right? Because he knows he's a felon. And, okay, so being a felon, obviously you can't own a firearm.
You know, Sergeant, I like you. And you know something, I don't want to go to jail.
I don't want
Because
you.
I don't deserve to go to jail.
I don't want you to go to jail. I'm telling you, that's why I'm spending so much time here. I don't want you to go to jail for something you didn't do.
And he's like, oh, you know, I like you, Sergeant. Oh, a little ass kiss going on. We gotta like you. I like you, Sergeant. Okay.
He had a 9mm Beretta,
Who did? He did?
Yeah.
What, Beretta 9mm? Blue, stainless?
stainless.
Okay, and what happened?
I don't know. I know he had one. The guys just told me, because I didn't hear it go off. But I'm pretty sure I know where he hides it.
Where does he hide it?
He told me he put it up in the attic.
Okay, so he's blaming it on this other dude right now, saying this other guy is the one that had brought in this 9mm. But it's not their home, it's Richard's. This is his home.
I took everything away and I put it up in the attic, you know, so.
So he takes it away from him and puts it up in the attic for this guy because he don't want nothing to do with it. But he's got to touch it because he's got to play with it because he played with Daisy.
Did you ever touch that gun?
Yes,
You did touch the gun. When was the last time you touched that gun?
about a week ago.
So this guy brings the gun into the home 3 weeks ago, and he touched it. He had to touch it. So he touched it, which now is going to say his fingerprints could be on it, right? Because he touched the gun 3 weeks ago. If you brought it in, was it 3 weeks ago? And now 1 week?
I know where the fucking gun is. I know where the fucking thing is. I did touch it about a week ago, because I thought it was cool. And I told
You
him
like guns. I know you like guns. Otherwise, you wouldn't be playing with pellet guns in front of your house.
I played with Daisy when I was a kid.
So did I.
I played with Daisy as a kid. What the fuck is Daisy?
Sounds like he's talking about his dog.
But now he's a 57-year-old grown man, and he's never touched a gun at 57 years old, and he played with Daisy when he was a kid. Now he wants to touch a real gun that he seems to kind of know what kind of gun it is. If you don't know anything about guns, how would you even know I would never know it was a 9mm, a 40, whatever, right?
Did you see him with the gun tonight?
What?
This is important. Did you see him with the gun today?
No. No. I didn't see him with it.
Is his fingerprints going to be on that gun?
I don't know.
How do you not know?
I don't know. Maybe they are, because he holds it too. You know, I mean, it's
What
his
do you mean
gun.
he holds it too?
Well, it's his gun. So I'm sure that they probably are. I mean, nobody wiped it down. I don't think anybody would wipe it down for any particular reason.
I don't think anybody wiped it down. Where did that come from? I didn't think anybody wiped it down. Just out of the blue. I don't think anybody wiped it down. Well, I'm guessing that somebody probably wiped it down.
You know.
But yours are going to be on it.
I think they may be, yeah. I mean, I've touched it, yes. Absolutely.
Who was the last person to touch it, you or him?
I don't know. I touched it about a week and a half ago, a week ago.
You took it out from upstairs in the attic and looked at it?
What's that?
You took it
No,
from-
he had it down. When he first got it, I looked at it.
Where did he get it from?
I have no idea.
All right, so he gets the gun and he just touches it because he just wants to touch it because he just wants to fondle it. Yeah, a little fondling. Fondling the gun. And I'm confused on when the gun came into play. So this random dude brought a gun into the home, into a convicted felon's home. And Richard takes it away, throws it up in the attic, and then just this night, the gun just magically appears on a table somewhere, and that he had to touch it again, or he hasn't touched it yet. But of course, this other guy's prints will be on it, unless somebody wiped it down.
This is just ridiculous already to this. Nobody's...
Well, he's a convicted felon. It's not ridiculous. He can't possess a gun. You can. He's a convicted felon, so it's not a ridiculous thing.
He just said the other guy's a convicted felon, but he is not.
So what he's got is he got the whole thing backwards. The guy that's talking, Richard, is the convicted felon.
Yeah.
And the other guy that's being blamed for this is not a felon.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, but isn't that his way of saying you can legally own and possess a gun because you are not a convicted felon? So what's his ploy with Richard? I mean, so far, we know that Richard has family in the sheriff's department, which would make him protected on some level. Boys in blue, you know how the piggies fly, right? They're going to protect each other. So that's kind of my jive with it right now, is that, you know, they're kind of leading him a little bit. I mean, why did they intentionally keep ignoring the felon thing? They know he's a felon. They know he's a felon. He knows they know he's a felon. And they lead him, and now he's blaming this other guy.
Obviously, your DNA and fingerprints are going to be on the gun. He may have been the one who took the shot at the cop. I don't know. If you just shot into the ground,
What's that?
if you shot into the ground,
Have I shot it into the ground?
if you did shoot it tonight
Right,
in the ground,
right.
it's a misdemeanor charge. It's not a felony.
Okay, I shot it into the ground tonight. Let me get the fuck out of here. Okay, I shot it into the ground. What did he say? 3 times? Okay, I shot it into the ground 3 times. I want to go home.
I want to know the truth, bud.
I shot it into the ground 3 times.
Why did you shoot it into the ground?
I just shot it into the ground 3 times, just for the hell of it.
So now this is a real big problem being a felon. He's admitting to firing the gun. He shot it into the ground 3 times. But it sounds to me, he's like, yeah, whatever, I'll tell you what you want to hear. I shot it in the ground 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Shot it in the ground 3 times. And this guy, I want the truth. I want the truth.
No, I want you to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. I shot it in the ground 3 times.
Well, this is kind of how I'm looking at it, is the prints are probably going to be on the gun. His prints are probably going to be on the gun, because he's the one that actually fired the weapon.
Right.
So they got to get that gun in his hand somehow in order to establish that. But what I don't get is how we've even gone this far into this without him being arrested for being a convicted felon and for having a gun, a fire, you know what I mean?
He gave you the gun?
He didn't give it to me.
You took it from him?
I took it from him.
Now the body language is really interesting to me. If you look at the body language of this guy, he's got this blanket, this crinkly blanket. He's laid back, all laid back. He's got, looks like a soda. He's got a coffee. He's all crashed out. He's in his pajamas, okay?
Did you take it from him tonight, or did you take it from him another day?
Another day.
What made you bring it outside today?
I don't know who brought it out.
What?
I don't know. It was out on my front thing, and I just checked it. It had one in the cock, and I pulled the trigger down on the ground, and then I fucking put it back away,
Where did you put it?
up in the attic.
And that's where it is right now?
Yeah. No, I fired 2 rounds into the ground.
Okay.
I never shot a gun like that before, and I just wanted to see what it was like.
And that's fine. No cops were around then.
No.
But at some point after that, Larry picked up the gun and fired.
Now listen really good to this part, because this part cracks me up. So he's blamed it on this other dude, and now he's telling this guy here that he shot it twice into the ground, and I just listened to how he addresses Richard. It's like he admits to it, and then now out of the blue, we've got a whole different shot that's going off. Apparently now somebody shot at a cop.
You saying, hey, I fired and put the gun away, it makes me think maybe you were the one that shot at the deputy.
No.
That's what I'm trying to say, and we're trying to get the state of mind of either
No,
you...
sir.
Listen to me. We're trying to get the state of mind of either you or Larry.
It was out. I have never fired a pistol before. Real one. I wanted to hear what it sounded like. It went boom, boom, boom. And I went back into the house. At that point, I don't remember what I did with the pistol.
I thought he just said he put it in the attic.
He did.
So now he doesn't know what he did with the pistol?
No.
And he just wanted to shoot it because he wanted to hear what a gun sounded like? He's never heard what a gun sounds like? Now we got a whole different oink here. So this guy is like he's telling the story, but he's so all over the place, right? I mean, what is it? Pellet gun? But now he shot the real gun. And he put it in the attic, or he didn't put it in the attic? So he didn't put it in the attic. And now he doesn't know what happened, where it is, what's going on. But now all of a sudden, there's an accusation of shooting at a cop? Where did that even come into play?
You sure you weren't standing right at the doorway?
I can't tell you for sure. I don't remember. And I'm being honest with you. I don't remember. And I'm being straight up with you.
Now he tells him that he shot it, but somebody shot another shot at a cop. And then he's saying he never heard it. And now the cop is kind of saying, are you sure you weren't standing at the door? Don't you think he would know if he was standing at the door and he saw this other guy shoot at a cop?
I know you've already admitted to firing
Yeah.
3 shots.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You know, I think what we need to really see here is the fact that he's a fucking felon. And I don't even know why he went this far. I mean, the guy admits to shooting the fucking gun. Period. He admits to shooting the gun. He's a convicted felon. He doesn't have any legal right to own or possess a firearm. And he shot it in the ground. It's not a misdemeanor. It is now a convicted felon, and it would be another felony charge. In my opinion, this prick needs to go to jail. And I'm thinking the outcome of this whole thing is going to probably surprise you. So stay tuned. I got more coming. But all right.